Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Today we have Jackie Robinson, who does our website, going to give a presentation to us on artificial intelligence. Before we start, I want to take a moment and thank all of those members or family members who have served in our armed forces on this time of Veterans Remembrance, and to thank those who are still here joining us and to those that we lost. And as every class I took when I was in school, we started with a very simple few phrases. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And with that, we have Jackie on the line, and she is ready to go. So I am going to cause no further delay and turn it over to Miss Robinson.
Thank you, Dale, and thank you to the NCRO for asking me to do this webinar for you guys today. I hope you all are having a good morning and you're in for a special treat to learn about AI and the basic uses that you can do for everyday living. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started. So today, my goal is to simplify AI and what it is, how to talk to it, holiday uses, AI for everyday living, and we'll do some live demos, and then I'll show you how you can get GPT for your own use, okay? So the purpose of having AI is to make your daily life easier. There's no technical knowledge required. You could think of AI as a friendly helper. For example, it can create shopping lists, recipes, and write holiday card messages. And that's some of the things that I will be showing you today. Now, I want you to think of AI as a powerful tool, okay? It is a smart computer. We know that there are data warehouses all over the world that house these servers and computer systems, and there are developers and technicians who have inputted information into these servers. You've seen the Google car that rides around, drives through the streets and collects addresses, historical sites, restaurants, hotels, and that information is stored so that when you use your Google map, it can pull that information up for you. And you're already using AI when you talk to Siri and you ask Siri questions, and it can recommend movies, it can give you YouTube suggestions. And the key thing is that the AI is not a robot. Even though you see the little robot on the side, it's not a robot. It is a storage facility that has what we use the analogy of Einstein, an Einstein bucket, where you pull out information that has been gathered. And that is what we're going to be talking about today. So what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is machine learning. Again, we have people who have gathered information and stored it and housed it in various servers around the world. And then you have programmers and developers who have used code to help it learn information as you pose questions to it. The difference is when you use Google search engine, you would ask Google search to find something for you, and it would pull up maybe 10 pages of websites that had that keyword, those keywords in your question of the search. And then you would have to dig through those websites to find the information that you were looking for. Well, with AI, you use what's called generative AI. In other words, you talk to it, or you talk to Einstein to pull information out of the bucket, because you cannot physically go to these servers and to get the information that you need. So they have created tools, AI tools, for you to use to be able to use prompts and ask it questions. Again, you're already using it if you talk to Siri, if you use your Google Assistant on your phone. Okay. Now, how do you talk to AI? Well, the way you talk to AI is to ask it specific questions. And you have to be specific in your questions, otherwise it'll give you just general answers. So the clearer your question is, the better your answer will be. So in other words, you could ask it to give you some dinner ideas for the holidays, or help you design a holiday greeting card. You can ask it to plan a grocery shopping list. But those are somewhat generic questions. You have to be more specific in order to get the best result. So what we do is we call, when we're asking AI questions, it's called a prompt. You are asking it to prompt the answer to your question. So you don't need to be a programmer. You just need to be clear. So here's an example. Instead of asking AI to write a letter, you want to be more clear. In other words, the better way to ask AI would be to say, write a friendly letter, friendly being a keyword, to who? My grandson. For what? Congratulating him on his high school graduation. Mention how proud I am and include a funny memory from when he was 5 years old. You see the difference? Instead of saying, write a letter, okay, well, it wants to know what kind of letter. So you tell it friendly. You tell it for who? My grandson. For what? Congratulating him on his high school graduation, and mentioning how proud you are. And you will know, you will see that the result is more extensive in answering that question for you. Holiday uses of AI. Now, a lot of times during the holidays, especially now with a lot of stuff going on in the United States, our mind is maybe unfocused, foggy, we're not clear, we're not sure what we're going to do for the holidays, but you can use AI to simplify your life by asking it to do things like create a Thanksgiving menu for 8 people, including 1 vegetarian main dish and 2 easy dessert recipes. You see how I'm giving it a lot of information. What do I want? I want a Thanksgiving menu. For how many people? 8 people. What do you want? I want to include a vegetarian main dish and 2 dessert recipes. And it will generate a menu based on the criteria that you've given it. Then, if you wanted to give you a grocery list of Thanksgiving items, you can do that as well. And it will give you an entire list of grocery items that you need for your meat eaters and for your vegans and for your vegetarians. Now, for Christmas, Some of you may not know what to get your wives or what to get your husbands, because at this particular age, they probably have everything that they probably wanted and needed anyway. So you can use AI to generate gift ideas. And I'll give you a demonstration on how that works when we get to the live demo session. So you could say, suggest unique gift ideas for my wife who loves gardening and classic rock music. You see how specific you're being? You want a unique gift idea. For who? For your wife. What does she like? She likes gardening and rock music. And it will generate a list of different types of unique gift ideas that you can shop for and present to your wife. Also, you can use it for travel. I use it a lot for my travels. So for instance, you could say, plan a 3-day itinerary for a Christmas market trip to Chicago. What do you want it to do? Plan. Plan what? 3-day itinerary. For what? For Christmas. What are you going to do? It's a market trip. Where are you going? To Chicago. And because AI has stored all of this information about Christmas shopping, about Chicago, it's going to lay out a 3-day itinerary rather, for day 1, for day 2, and for day 3. It will be very specific. You can also go back and fine tune it a little bit, and I will show you that again when we get to the live demo. New Year's Eve, you can ask it to create a party menu for New Year's Eve, to be specific and tell them that you have some alcohol, people who drink alcohol, people who don't drink alcohol, and it will generate a specific menu just for that group of people within your party. Unclear about what you want to do in 2026? Maybe you want to lose 5 pounds. You can ask it to give you some resolutions for 2026 based on your goals for the upcoming year. Trivia games. I mean, AI has all of this information stored that allows it to answer your prompts, answer your questions, and be very specific with it based on the criteria that you give it. That's for the holiday uses, okay? Now, what about for everyday life? Sometimes we get caught up in time, we lose track of time, and you need things like maybe a checklist for shopping items to replenish the kitchen or to replenish the bedroom or whatever. You can ask it to create a checklist. Also for health, let's say for instance, you want some recipes to cut down on your diabetes. Using the criteria of diabetes, and you want a healthful food plan, it will generate recipes for healthy eating that addresses diabetes. If you're traveling and you're not sure what to pack, for instance, for our trip to Chicago, it also includes what you should take, because it knows that during Christmas it's cold in Chicago, especially if you're going to be on Lake Michigan. So it tells you, take a winter coat, take gloves, take scarves. And so it's very specific. Again, when you give it clear questions, it will generate enough information for you to do the things that you need to do. What about correspondence to family members, letters, stories for your grandkids? You could tell it to create a short story based on the subject of Mama makes the best cheese grits, or Mama makes the best cheese eggs, better than Waffle House. And if you tell it, I want it to be 200 words, it will create a story based on the criteria that is for your grandchildren. It's about cheese eggs better than Waffle House. And you would be amazed at the article or the story that it will generate. Here's another one. Help me write a polite email to my neighbor about their noisy dog. Suppose you have a neighbor that dog barks all day or all night, but you live in a community that has roosters and the roosters crow from sun up to sundown. And it's annoying and you're perturbed by it, but you're not quite sure how to address that issue with your neighbor. You can ask AI to generate a polite letter, a friendly letter, a firm letter, a demanding email. Again, using the keywords that it will use to generate that content for you. And trying to address some issues. A lot of times we get caught up and we're not sure how we want to talk to certain people, and you can use AI to generate that content for you. Let's say, for instance, you want to start a vegetable garden, but you live in a high-rise apartment with a patio, or you live in living assistance with a small space, and you want a vegetable garden. You could say, give me a friendly beginner's guide to starting a container vegetable garden on my patio. And it will generate ideas for you to start a container vegetable garden. You could expand on that and say, my patio faces the east, faces the south, faces the west or the north, and it will regenerate a new output based on where the sun is, giving you the correct vegetables that will thrive based on where the sun is on your patio. All right, let's look at some AI tools, okay? The different tools that are available to you to write these questions or ask these prompts that we just talked about. Already you're familiar with Siri and Google Assist and the Google Map. So here are the tools that are currently available. And there, as a matter of fact, since the last couple of years, there have been so many that have been developed, but the more popular ones are ChatGPT. This is the prompt screen for ChatGPT. And you'll see down the left-hand side where you can start a new chat, search chat, a library of all of the prompts that you've already asked it. Here you have some preset prompts where all you need to do is plug in a couple of parameters and it will generate the content for you. Or down here is where you ask your prompt or ask your question and it gives you an output. In the free version, the output is in English. The tone, I believe, is, I don't remember the tone, and the default writing may be poetic. You could change it to poetic, but in the paid version, it gives you a lot more options to choose from in the options, the tone, and in the writing style. So that's ChatGPT. And then there's the Microsoft Copilot. And you may have seen this little icon here in your Windows taskbar or somewhere on your computer screen. Well, that's for the Microsoft Copilot. And it is also a AI prompt tool, an AI tool for you to ask it questions like, what should we dive into today? Asking it anything you want to ask it, okay? And these things are available 24/7. Unlike when you were working and you may have had a secretary or you may have had an executive assistant that was only available during working hours. They may have been really good at what they do in terms of helping you in your position. But with AI, it's available 24/7. We also have DeepSeek, another AI tool where you can ask it questions. I use DeepSeek and I use ChatGPT. Sometimes what happen is you'll use the same question, the same prompt in either one of these AI tools, and it might give you a similar answer, but it might vary just a little bit. And I'll show you how ChatGPT is extensive in terms of the additional information that it'll ask you for once it gives you the answer to your first question. Now, this is PRM for your mobile device. A lot of you may have an iPhone, a smartphone, an Android. You can download this particular AI tool called AI PRM, it's an AI prompt, and use it on your phone, especially if you're out and about on the go, if you're in the grocery store and you see a particular food item and maybe you've never used it before, never eaten it before, and you want a recipe for it, you can quickly pull out your phone and use this particular mobile app to ask it a question in the chat box. Again, on the left-hand side here, you'll see some preset prompts like human written 100% unique SEO optimized article. And it will spit out an article based on the parameters you give it. Or you can create your own question, your own prompt quickly here within this window. On this side, it is the history of prompts that have already been asked, and it stores a history. ChatGPT does the same thing. Unless you delete that prompt, it will store the prompts that you have created and ask it. Now, this is really important, okay? This is the AI prompt cheat sheet, where for those of you who are just beginning and new to this, you can start out by using these beginning questions like, how do I? How do I what? How do I start a vegetable container garden on my patio? What are the 7 wonders of the world? I need help with. Will there be, for instance, will there be an Iron Man 5? Now, it remembers all of the other Iron Man movies 1 through 4, and it will go out and research information and let you know whether or not an Iron Man 5 is in development. Create a day by day. You need to do something during the week. You can ask it to create a day by day schedule. This one I use for the NCRO website, where I ask it to write a 600-word blog post for the NCRO based on a particular subject. And it gives me that article in exactly 600 words. What you guys should know is that on the website, when we use AI generated articles, there is a disclaimer statement that says that that particular article was generated by AI. Make a list of, or this one is really, really good for you all to use. Act like. act like a marketeer. And on the right side of this screen, you will see some examples of roles that you can use when you say, act like a CEO, act like an inventor, act like a therapist, and so on and so forth. For what? What task do you want it to do? And you'll see the list of tasks that it can do. For instance, act like a marketer and create an ad copy for XYZ and distribute it in a presentation slide. So you can act, it can act as a role, you can give it a task, and then tell it what format you want it to be in. That's very helpful. Act like a role, give it a task, and give it the format. So that one is really good for you all, especially for beginners. So we're going to do some live demos. And I'm going to show you how this works. We're going to ask it some questions, and then we're going to generate the content. You guys ready? All right, let's go. Oh, before I go over there, let me share this with you. Okay, so the Copilot has added a new feature called image. So I ask it to generate an image of a Chrysler futuristic car with two poodles and one with a red scarf tied around its neck driving down Route 66. And this was the image. Isn't that cute? This was the image that it generated, okay? Two poodles riding down Route 66 in a futuristic Chrysler car. Note the tires, okay? Now, also note that the driver is on the right-hand side. Well, I could have easily gone back and say, put that poodle on the left-hand side, and it would have regenerated the image based on what I told it to do, okay? All right, let's do it. Okay. This is ChatGPT, and you'll notice on the left-hand side, it has the library of all of the prompts that I've already asked it. I can start a new chat and ask it some additional questions. And for the purpose of this webinar, I have already gone in and asked it already some prompts, like for instance, the Thanksgiving menu for 10. I asked it to create a Thanksgiving menu for 10 people, including 1 vegan, 2 vegetarians, and there are also 3 children. Here was the answer. Starters and appetizers, main course, the classic herb roast turkey for the omnivores, vegan lentil mushroom Wellington, the sides, garlic mashed potatoes, the desserts, the drinks, okay? Mini chocolate pudding cups, a kid's favorite. So let's go in here. I'm going to edit the message a little bit and take that out and say, okay, let's just do it all over again. Okay, and take that out so you can see it work. Okay, send. You see how fast that is? You do not have to go to the Google search window and ask it for Thanksgiving holiday recipes and then scroll through different websites. The purpose of AI is to be fast and give you the information that you need based on the criteria that you've given it. Okay, so again, this is what it generated. Now, with ChatGPT, it has enhanced prompts at the end of the output, and it says, would you like me to create a shopping list and prep time day before and day of to go with this menu? It can make hosting much easier. Oh yeah, we appreciate that. And so all I have to do is type in YES, yes. Perfect. Here's your complete Thanksgiving hosting plan, a detailed shopping list and prep time for your guests. It tells you the ingredients, products that you need for each of the items. See how fast that is? Cranberry orange relish, the desserts, all of the ingredients, and the prep time. 3 days before, 1 day before, and what to do on Thanksgiving morning. Before serving, arrange the dishes and buffet style and clear labels. Then it says, would you like me to turn this into a printable Thanksgiving planner PDF with check boxes for shopping and prep tasks? It will do that as well. Okay, now I'm gonna get over here. I need to get this out the way. Let's close this. Let's see if I can close this and then move this over here. Okay, and let's go back. All right, so now let's see. Here's a good one. I asked it to say that my wife and I are both retired and looking to move to Europe for 5 years in the spring of 2026. Write a plan. Oh, and we both have a combined income of $6,000 per month. Suggest the best city based on the criteria of housing, healthcare, transportation, warm weather, and easy flights back to the United States. Okay. Fun plan. Below, I'll make a short, practical recommendation based on your priorities. Now, based on your priorities, it gave the top pick: Lisbon, Portugal, Malaga, Spain, or Valencia, Spain. Then it says, why did I pick Lisbon? Because of one of your criteria, the flights back to the US. It has multiple year-round direct routes. Healthcare. The healthcare system is good for residents. Safety, weather. It addressed each and every one of the criteria that you gave it. The affordability in euro and US dollars. Then it goes beyond and tells you about visa and residency, the Portugal D7. And this is information that is current based on what's in the Einstein bucket of information that has been put in and stored in those data warehouses and servers all over the world. It says, if you want, I can look up the exact D7 and a Spanish non-lucrative criteria that you need. Here's a monthly budget. It gave a budget, all right? Quick comparison table between the 3 cities that it selected. Next steps, gives you the next steps of what you need to do, okay? Give another example. All right, remember we talked about that 3-day itinerary for Christmas shopping from, and I asked it, I said that I will be going from Milwaukee to Chicago, and that I will be traveling by train and staying at the Drake Hotel in Chicago. Sounds like a magical Christmas getaway. Here's your 3-day itinerary. It breaks it down into 3 days, just like you said, you wanted 3 days. And what I found interesting is that it knew that the Amtrak Hiawatha service from Milwaukee to Chicago, how often it runs. So that's when you depart, you arrive and you take a short cab to the Drake Hotel, drop your luggage off. In the afternoon, it tells you that you can have lunch, but it goes a little bit further and say, why not try this particular restaurant? Or you could try this other restaurant. Then let's go shopping. The Kris Kringle Market at the Daily Plaza. It gives you the address of how to explore this particular plaza and go shopping. Tells you what it has. In the evening, dinner, it names the gauge. Take a night stroll. Day 2, Day 3, extra tips, what to bring: warm coat, gloves, scarf, and hat, because the hawk is out in Chicago, all right? And the wind can blow you away if you've ever been to Chicago. It even gives you the best travel dates. Now, best ideas for the gardener. Okay, this is a good one too. I told it Christmas is in a few weeks. Suggest a unique gift for my wife who loves gardening and classic rock. That's a great combo. Gardening and classic rock. Well, here are the possibilities for her love of gardening. It told me you could get customized garden rock markers, vintage style greenhouse, heirloom seed subscription box for her classic rock soul, a vinyl record planner, custom guitar pick, jewelry, blending both, a rock garden, a plant named after a song. And then it says, would you like me to narrow this down to the top 5 personal picks and a personal sentimental message for your wife? And I said, yes. Okay, well, I believe it says the herb garden that sings, a garden apron that rocks, a record for the season, the herb and harmony. So it combined the love of gardening with classic rock, and it tells you exactly what you can get. Fill a woven basket with fragrant treasures, jars of dried herbs. So sometimes we just don't know what to do. And again, using AI makes things a lot more simpler when you don't know what to do. Then it said, would you like me to help you compose a poetic note, a card? And I said, yes, that would be really nice. And it gave this poem for you, my love. You are the soft hum between earth and sky, the quiet song of seeds becoming light, of sunlight turning to flavor beneath your hands, and so on with a lovely poem. Then I said, okay, that's a little bit long. She might not believe all of that because it is AI generated. So I use the term shorten, which simply means take the information that you just generated and shorten it. Of course, here's a shortened poetic poem, and you see where it shortened it to just a couple of paragraphs. Okay, so now I'm going to do a new chat. Those were examples that we talked about during this webinar. So now I'm going to show you how it works in live time. So I'm going to ask it to find a recipe for sugar-free oatmeal cookies. Okay, all right, I can do that, but the ingredients, oh wait, I have on hand. I only have oats, see it, bananas, did I spell it right? And cinnamon. Those are only 3 ingredients that I have. Okay, I'm gonna have to move this again. Move this out of the way and come back. Okay. Okay, oats, bananas, and cinnamon. Perfect. You can make 3 ingredient sugar-free oatmeal cookies with exactly what you have: oats, bananas, and cinnamon. Here's a simple recipe. Ingredients, options, the instructions. Would you like a crispier version or extra protein? You could do that as well. Okay. So I'm going to also ask it to one day scenic drive along the Oregon coast, starting where, Jack? Starting in Lincoln City. What else you need, Jack? With good spots for lunch and photos. Let's see what it gives me. Searching the web. Perfect. Oh my goodness. Perfect for ocean views, photo stops, and a nice lunch. We'll head south along the coast on Route US 101 with a special detour via the Outer Crest Loop for spectacular views. Starting point with pictures. Lincoln City. Begin your day in Lincoln City. Walk along the beach or jetty. Step 1, Depot Bay. Head south. Stop 2, lunch with pictures. For lunch, there are good options. Gracie Sea Hag, classic seafood. Stop 3, scenic detour. 4, continue to Newport and return to Lincoln City. Head back north on Highway 101. Now, it goes further and it says, if you like, I can pull together a map-based route with exact stops, parking info, and best photo angles, and maybe a few hidden gems. Would you like me to do that? And all I do is simply say, yes. And there's your map. It's more specific. Photo tip, parking. There's a parking lot at the viewpoint. But note, some construction impacts may limit parking. See how fast and how easy that is? Start early, have lunch, stop here at 2 o'clock, Dress in layers. Coastal weather can change quickly. Okay. Now here's one that's a little more technical. Explain. Oh, let's do a new one, or I could continue in that one. Actually, I want to show you all this one. Okay. It can also translate. If you have a document for whatever reason that needs to be translated into another language, AI can do that as well. So I took some content and I copied it and pasted it in the prompt window. And I said, translate the following into Mexican Spanish. I suppose I could have said Spanish, but there is a difference between Spain Spanish and Mexican Spanish. So that's why I was really specific when I said Mexican Spanish. The subject is 3 tools for ageless freedom. It's never too late to live boldly. That is the English content, and it translated it into Mexican Spanish very quickly. Okay. Is there one I didn't use? Oh, here's one also. The Mediterranean Mediterranean diet. A lot of people may not know what it is, although it's been around for a long time. So to refresh your memory, if you wanted to use the Mediterranean diet, it's like, what is it? And it gives it to you, gives you the answer in simple terms. That's what we like. We like simple. We don't like it to be too technical. It's based on traditional eating habits, natural foods, lots of vegetables, some fish, occasional red meat, and they drink mostly water, sometimes red wine. We like red wine. And then it breaks it down into a grocery list. Here are the things that you would need to buy in order to start this Mediterranean diet: vegetables, fruits, whole grains, proteins, flour, flavor and herbs, and it gives you a suggested meal for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. Would you like me to make a 7-day Mediterranean meal plan using these foods? Again, the simple answer would be yes. And very fast, very quickly, it generates a 7-day Mediterranean diet meal plan for 7 days, what you should eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snack. Now, there are all kinds of apps out there. There are websites, there are YouTube videos where you can go and search for these same subjects and you will get answers to it. But using AI, using the AI tools like ChatGPT, you can put in your prompt, put in your question, and you can see how fast the information is generated without you doing a whole lot of searching and reading through and scrolling through various information. So some of you may have questions about this being new users or already users and may have had some questions about it. Let's see, where we going? We're going to, let's go to 22. Okay, 20, this one. All right. Now, I've talked about the AI tools. Again, you're already using Siri and Google Assistant. I talked about that there are several tools that are available. We focus today on ChatGPT. There's the Microsoft Copilot. There's also DeepSeek and Microsoft Assistant. But for those of you who are interested, I'm going to show you how you can access ChatGPT. So to get ChatGPT, you go to chat.openai.com. You log in or you sign up. If you haven't already signed up, you create an account, or if you have an account, you log in and then follow the registration process if required. And that's for new accounts. You choose the prompts. I showed you where there are some preset prompts where all you have to do is put in the parameters and it will generate the content for you, or you use the chat window and you generate your own prompt, your own question, and you engage with it to create unique questions, unique answers, and then AI will generate a tailored response just for you based on the criteria, based on the questions that you've asked it. So how do you compose your request? How do you compose your question? You frame your request, for instance, for a Christmas greeting card. Specify the person, the tone, and any specific details you want in the content. For example, act like a what, Jack? Act like a Hallmark greeting card writer, okay? For what? To generate a loving Christmas holiday greeting. For who? For my 14-year-old grandson. So you see how you're being very specific in your request. Act like what? A Hallmark greeting card writer and generate a loving. It could be a kind. It could have been a friendly. What do you need, Jack? A Christmas holiday greeting card. Who's it for? For my 14-year-old grandson. And it will generate a response. Now, very important that whatever you ask AI, when you receive the output, when you receive the answer, you need to review it and edit it. Once it's generated, the content, you review it for accuracy, coherence, and relevance. You can edit the output as needed. You can add more. You can add more description to it. You can add more to your question that aligns with your desired intent. So if the first output doesn't align with your intent, you go back and you modify the prompt, you modify the question, and it will generate a second answer, or a third answer, or a fourth answer, based on how many times you modify your original prompt. Now, just a little housekeeping here. This is an important disclaimer. What I want to highlight here is no endorsement. The mention of any tools or website is for example only and not a recommendation. Again, I talk about ChatGPT, but there are also other AI prompts available to you. And that's it. That's it. Thank you all for signing up and attending this webinar. It has been my extreme pleasure to present this information to you. And I want to thank Dale and the NCRO for inviting me to be your speaker for November. Happy holidays. Dale, back to you.
Gotta love it. Okay, here we go.
No, on the computer, they are websites. So you just simply put in the URL for that website.
Okay, cool.
But at the same time, for ChatGPT and for DeepSeek, you have to register your email address. Well, yeah, you could, based on the criteria that you give it, it could give you an answer, but it may also say that it is not a trader and that's something that it has not been trained to do, to give you, to tell you what stocks to buy. It may tell you to seek out a financial advisor for that. Would the Lions go to the Super Bowl? Ask it. I'd be curious to know if the Detroit Lions are going to go to the Super Bowl as well. As a matter of fact, what it's going to do is going to go out to the website and it's going to pull information based on, what do you call it? The thing that the people do, they bet, okay, those betting sites. And it may give you some predictions.
My first thought is we might want to say what year.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm using 4.
I think in your demo you used the free version, didn't you, Jacqueline?
I did. The NCRO has a free version and I can create projects. So I created a project for this webinar where I stored all of the prompts under that project. No, it's not influenced by the vendors who pay for the recommendations. It's based on, I'm sure, reviews from various websites, people that have given reviews, and maybe from their site, what they recommend. So I don't think it's from influenced by paid vendors. With audio, I don't think it's audio. It's written. Although you do not have to type the prompt, you can speak the prompt. There's a microphone that allows you to speak the prompt. I haven't tried it, but I might ask it to give the output in MP3.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and then it'll let me know whether it can do it or not. Yes, Copilot is free and is simply integrated into Windows 11. But keep in mind that the free versions of anything is going to be limited in terms of the functionality that it has. Everybody wants to get paid. And so you use a paid version and it will give you more robust options to be able to generate content. Determine the best scenarios for applying for Social Security. When you put in the specific questions like, I am currently 67 and I have been working for the last 45 years. I plan to retire in 2026. What is the best scenario for me to start collecting my Social Security?
All right, I've gotten a few more here. What about DeepSeek? Is DeepSeek free?
Yes.
Do you know if the conversation that I have with the AI remains private?
No, I don't think it's private. I mean, even if you use a incognito window, AI, every time you ask it something, it is storing that information. Like for me, I've used it quite extensively, and so sometimes I can put in a simple question and it knows that I'm doing it for Jackie R, or it knows that I'm doing it for NCRO. And so I don't think it's private. So I put it in. Is ChatGPT private? Where does it store chats? It says, and when we talk about using it to the extent that it remembers you, it says, that's a smart question, Jackie, and an important one. When you chat with me, your conversations are stored securely on OpenAI servers, not on your personal device. They're used for a few main reasons: to let you see your chat history and pick up where you left off. It helps improve the model in some cases, but only after data is carefully reviewed and stripped of personal identifying details. I think it might be for GPT, it might be $39 a month or $39 a year. Let's ask it, how much do you cost? The free plan is $0 per month. The plus plan is $20 per month. The pro plan is $200 a month for heavy users who want the highest access and advanced model. For teams and businesses, the plans are $25 per month per user.
So with that, we're gonna come to a close, and thank you, Jackie. This has been very interesting, and I'm pretty sure everybody really enjoyed it. So everyone have a very safe day. Enjoy. Happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays. And we'll see you again next year with something new. Stay
Peace
safe.
out.